Hi, my name is Michael Scott. Yes, just like the guy on The Office, only I don't have a script. I am in about day number 8 of my Bell's palsy. In those 8 days, I have probably done more research and more internet looking for a cure, a treatment, any ideas as far as how to cope with this. I've looked for more of that stuff than one person has any right to do. I've spent so much time on the computer. I'm sure you probably have too, and that's probably how you found this video. One thing I've noticed that other people's videos have not talked about is how to cope with this. Because this is fucked up. As you can see, for me it's my right side. I just bit my tongue, so that's happened a couple times today. For me, it actually started about 10 days ago. Today is the 10th. Started for me on the 1st of March. This is 2016. I don't know how old this video is by the time you're watching it. I'm going to do this in installments, and then maybe I'll put it all together as one video later. So anyway, it's technically like day 10, but my first 2 days, the only symptoms were a tingling in my mouth and a sort of metallic feeling or a metallic taste. Kind of tasted like when I've gotten new fillings in my mouth. And every time I run my tongue across my teeth, I get like a metal taste in my mouth. I can still taste my food, luckily, but the taste sensation is definitely not what it should be. So like I said, we're in about day 8 since the paralysis started. You can see I'm spending a lot of time, effort, and money on my props here. So anyway, there is no cure, and the treatments are pretty sketchy. I've been desperate for the past 7 days or so, and I have been trying virtually everything. Research that I found indicated that lysine supplements are recommended, as well as multi-B vitamins, especially B12. So I'm taking a number of those things. Taking B12. I've got lysine supplement that I'm taking like 3 times a day. Also taking just some generic multivitamin that has virtually everything in it. And I've been on a B complex vitamin. This is a foreign label because I'm overseas right now. And I've been taking aspirin. Sometimes also ibuprofen. It looks like the AIDS cocktail by the time I put these 10 pills in my mouth in the morning, and I'm taking a lot of this stuff 2 or 3 times a day. Also, I've been doing sauna whenever I can. So far, I've just gone twice in the past 7 days. Been doing a lot of extra cardio. I've been standing on my head. I've done anything that you can think of, laying on a heating pad, facial massage. Tomorrow I'm actually going for acupuncture, so I'll let you know if I feel like that's really doing anything. Other videos that I've saw and other people that I've watched have mentioned that the acupuncture is probably one of the only things that they felt really was making a difference. So anyway, let's talk about coping, because some of us can't just hide. So for me, I'm a school teacher. I teach year 6, which is like 10 or 11-year-olds. And it's very stressful because obviously my speech is now slurred. I sound like an idiot. And let's just face it, I look fucked up. So this would be kind of disconcerting to my students. Closing one eye and not the other one, you look crazy as shit. So that's, I think, the first step, is to admit that you just look fucked up. So we're going to talk about doing something about that. The first solution that some people mention, for one, because you can't close your damn eye, there's risks involved in not being able to close your eye. I can close it if I really make some concentrated effort. At this point, it's taking me about like 10 seconds or so to get my eye fully closed. Sometimes throughout the day, it might take 30 seconds to get it closed once I've been fatigued for the day. But I've just gotten out of a bath. That's one thing that does seem to help me a little bit is a hot bath or a long hot shower. Relaxes the muscles some more, and I get a little bit more control back for temporarily, at least of my eyelid. So the first thing is eye patch. So I tried this at home, just covering the one eye, and I tried just watching TV for about 10 minutes, and it was making me insane. I can see out of both of my eyes, so I need to be able to continue to see because I'm already a klutz, and walking around with one fucking eye covered, although sexy, doesn't really work for me as far as functionality. I'm a teacher. I need to have my peripheral vision. I've got 16 kids in my class doing God knows what, and I need to be able to see them. So another thing is that I'm just not comfortable being blind in one eye if I'm not blind in one eye. So I actually made an eye patch while I was at school, so you can see it looks pretty ghetto. There's staples all around it because that's what I have at school. And I actually made it out of a piece of cardboard like this. But this eye patch, as you can see, is transparent. So you can actually see through your other eye, but still be able to protect it. So now, not only do I look not so fucked up, but sexy. Okay, but then you see the mouth, not sexy. So now we can talk about trying to not open the mouth so wide when you're talking, and you can get a little bit more of a normalized effect. I realize the eye patch is humorous at first, but let's just say you're going about a normal day. Once people get used to seeing the eye patch, you at least don't look fucking crazy. So now I just look like some guy on the bus that poked his damn eye out or just got eye surgery or whatever the case may be. And unless you're really staring hard at this, you can't see my eye underneath. So you won't be able to tell that I'm not blinking or whatever the case may be. First thing, if you choose to just look crazy, you might as well put on a clown hat or something because people are going to be looking at you when you're all fucking blinky and you got like a wonky eye. So this, not okay with me. This, my students have learned to cope. They've just accepted the patch as being what it is. It's just the situation. They know why I have it. I've explained it to them. I think I've actually put this on upside down at this point, but we're just going to accept it. It's kind of comfortable this way. So this is how we're going to deal with coping, because this is going to last for months. So also, the other thing that this eye patch does is, since it is made of like a spandex, it's porous, but it's not, it doesn't allow wind to blow in my eye. When I'm out walking, I can't cope with that, sorry, I was just joking. When I'm out walking or doing some other kind of business, taking care of my day, like I said, I go to school, I teach, I use public transportation here because I'm a teacher abroad. Yeah, my hair looks pretty wild too, so you can see that this is taking up pretty much all of my spare time. So dealing with the eye is the first thing. So let's just focus on that. Here's your eye patch. If you just cut a piece of cardboard out like this, simple piece of cardboard in the shape of like an eyeglass lens, that'll be your basic eye patch. Then just cut halfway into the center, and what you want is a ring. Basically, you want the outer ring of an eye patch. You could also do this with a real eye patch you can buy from the store. Unfortunately, I'm in Slovakia, and I haven't been able to find one in a store. I've been to an optician, I've been to a pharmacist. So if you have a slit like this, if you overlap it just slightly, it gives the eye patch itself a bevel. So now you have a rounded kind of lens that will stand up off of your eye and give your eyelashes a little bit of room to go up and down. We'll pad that even more when we're finished, But basically, you just glue that down like this. What I did was I just glued that down. Then on this eye patch, I didn't staple it at that point because I actually had some glue that was holding. Then I took a pair of spandex shorts, basically compression shorts. If you have spandex underwear, anything will pretty much work. It doesn't even have to be spandex. You could use nylon, but nylon is really delicate, so you'll probably be replacing the layer a lot because it runs really easy. At any rate, when I was done putting that on, I just put it on. I tried gluing it, but the glue didn't hold, so then I stapled it. And by stapling it, I was actually able to stretch it a little bit further. And then now you have like these manly staples all the way around, which really looks a little bit more rugged. If you're going to be wearing a homemade ghetto eye patch, you might as well have a little bit of fun with it. The kids at school, especially the younger ones, have been asking, what's wrong with your eye? So, I just been telling them, hey, didn't you know I was a pirate or something, and just say something stupid. And the little kids just think it's kind of funny and then they leave me alone. So, like I said, you're going to attract attention regardless. With the ladies out there, you can buy, like I said, a real eye patch. If you want to be able to see, it really is key. Cut out the center and wrap the whole thing in some kind of spandex or another gauzy see-through material. It will mess with your vision just a little bit because you'll be seeing about 60% out of one eye and 100% out of the other, but it really helps to protect your eye, and it really makes you look a hell of a lot less crazy than this, because that's not sexy. Sexy? Not sexy. So just so you knew, in case you didn't realize, you do look fucked up. And even though you feel like you're blinking, videotape yourself. You're not blinking. What you're doing is when you try to blink, your other eye is going to start rolling back into the back of your head, and you won't even realize you're doing it. You see the people on the video doing it. When you watch them, you don't realize you're doing it. Videotape yourself, blink hard, and try to actually get that other eye to close, and your eye is rolling back, and you look fucked up. It's scary to little kids, and other people just think you look crazy or retarded or whatever. So, not trying to be politically incorrect, but you look fucked up. So, first step of coping is, I think, the eye patch. And the second thing, if you're not trying to make a huge speech, is really learning to tone down your facial mannerisms. Talk with a lower voice when you can. You don't have to open your mouth as wide when you speak at a lower tone. And that's just it. I mean, that's the first things. You're going to want to keep trying to do every kind of therapy you can imagine. From all the research that I've done, aside from the vitamins, they say facial massage really is one of the best, and acupuncture. So make sure you're keeping blood flow going to those nerves so that they can repair themselves. And talking all day, very difficult. I'm a teacher, so I'm exhausted by this point, and any control that I had this morning is now gone. So I've now bit my tongue several times today, not while I was eating, luckily, but just while I've been talking. I've been chewing on my lips when I try to eat, so I'm eating with my fingers in my mouth. So that's another thing. When it comes to coping, you're just going to have to get used to eating by yourself. Don't eat in front of people. There's no way you can do this in a nice way. I don't care what you're trying to eat. You either be drooling on yourself or constantly having to wipe your mouth, get your lips out of your teeth so you can take a bite of a sandwich or something like that. It's a great weight loss method. So eat alone. I know it doesn't sound great, but eat alone because you look fucked up. So everybody look in the mirror, smile, and say, I look fucked up. And then you can just start to make light of it as much as you can. And after you get to about the 25-day mark, that's when I've started to see other people have some kind of recovery starting. So if you get to that point and you're still, I had like a mental breakdown today, just started crying. I had to leave my classroom and have somebody take over. These emotional responses I think are pretty normal. But besides looking fucked up, it feels really bad. So the frustration level that you start to experience when you just don't have control, and people aren't necessarily as sensitive to your situation as you might expect them to be, especially with kids. It's like they're sympathetic, but then they're just themselves. So not necessarily doing anything particularly wrong, but for me, it's just really frustrating. I can't talk over 16 kids. Can't fight with them. I don't have the energy, and I don't have the control that I had before. And when I yell, I sound like an idiot. So I can hear that I sound like an idiot, and that even makes me feel worse. So now it's like I feel like I look retarded and I feel retarded, and I just don't belong there. It's not functional for me. So anyway, keep the emotions in check. Go in another room and cry it out if you need to. Just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of us going through this, and watching some of these videos, although some of us are more professional and appropriate than others, it's good to just watch these things and see that recovery happens. So I'll update this in a few days and see how the acupuncture is going, and maybe we'll go from there. Thanks for your time.